Viv, how you doing? Prognesh, you motherfucker. Okay, so Viv is breaking over this trend line over here. I do like this one. I think this one should have a chance. I would add that to the list, Prognesh. You know, that's got some good range on it because you're getting both, you know, up and down range on this. I would definitely add that in. So let's add in Tiff and Viv. Good morning, peoples. Look alive, look alive. You know, market's starting to pop back a little bit here, but we've been trending down pretty much all of pre-market. You know, yesterday we had this nice strength, and then we faded off the whole gain, and that's something that we got to be really mindful of when we're thinking about the market. Is like you have we have an overall range that's developed here, right? From 190 down to the bottom of this trend line. So you have a longer term kind of range that's been lasting for a month. And then you have short-term price action, like what is the market acting like recently, right? Which is like this is getting flooded off down all the way down over here. We were up like hundreds of points yesterday in the down. Then we did a red roll. So that's something like we've got to keep an eye on, right? The short-term price action is actually telling us like, holy shit, like there's a little bit of fear in the market, you know, because you don't usually fade off gaps like that. You can see like this is the ETF for TVIX. It opened down 875 and it cruised up $3. So that's like 15% or so off the low. So we have to be respectful of the fact that we're in a range, but that we're also having short-term price action that is really weak, right? Where strength is getting faded off as people just don't know what's going on. So keep TVIX on your watch list. This guy could very well, you know, bust loose like any day here. Obviously, it would depend on the range in the general market. If the range in the general market would, you know, if the range in the general market would bust loose here, then I think that, you know, to the downside, I think this one's going to have a chance. I think the hot place for today, this LCI looks actually pretty good. You know, you're kind of busting out of this trend line here. It looks like it's got some news. 18 million share float. So if we get a little uptick in volume, this one's going to have a chance. ADSK looks really nice. Or you got basically a longer term bear flag over here. And then what we got to do here is Tiff. I think this is my fave. You know what, Mark? You good eye on this one. So you got a bear flag over here, and you're breaking down the bottom of this trend line. Revenue falls short of street expectations. People don't like that kind of stuff in general. Like this one is going to be hot to trot. I think we're definitely going to have to be able to shred this one also. So put this on. You know, guys, when we're making lists, right? I always try to like kind of focus my list to 3. You know, to 6 names. So I'll have like 20, 25 names on my list, but, you know, I try to focus it down to 3 or 4. This is going to be one of them. Prognesh found this Viv. This looks actually pretty good too. So I would add this one in. This one is not like the best trader though. It's like a healthcare stock. So that's something to kind of be mindful of. Hey, what's up? Anshul, how you doing? Shelton, what's going on? Phil, what's up? What's up? Good. So those are kind of my focus list. Then the second part is this JNUG. Guys, we got to have JNUG on top of the list for the next few days. I know it's a little bit more expensive than some of you guys like. But look, it doesn't really matter. If you have a smaller account and you can only buy 100 shares of this thing and it can move $7, $8 in a move, then, right, who cares what price it is? You know, a lot of times we get sucked into thinking like, oh my gosh, it's too expensive, it's too expensive, it's too expensive. Well, if all you can buy is 100, but it can move $5, $6, then you had yourself a good day, right? So don't be so focused in on the price of a stock. It doesn't matter. It's the range of a stock. Yeah, Philip Morris got just canard yesterday, it looks like. I didn't even actually see this till later. So there was what, PM? So I don't get it. So Philip Morris, PM, and MO are the same? So which one's a little bit easier? They both are thick, though, with big, thick floats. Either one of these, I think with the volume on them that you're seeing, I would keep them on the list. Like, this one's down 3 days in a row, so you got to be careful. But this one is a little bit different. Like, this is only down 1 day in a row. So definitely watch this 45 mark. If you break under 45, they'll turn the jets on. High float stocks, like when they start to consolidate, they're like really tricky and slippery to trade. But like when they start their initial kind of descent down, like if it's going to get flushed, you can definitely get like yourself, you definitely see yourself, you'll get some action on this thing. So I'd keep that on the list, brother, for sure. Not a focus for me just because it's got like such a thick float on it, but otherwise it looks pretty good. Yeah, Mr. Olson, you could go with Nugget also. There's nothing wrong with the little Nugget. I prefer JNUG in general just because it moves a little bit, it just moves a little bit more clean, but they really move the same percentage. Like there's no difference in JNUG and between JNUG and Nugget. So like you can see right here, like this is just like your quintessential flag pattern intraday. Like you can that's like, guys, when you're like looking at your trades, if you can just stick with like really clean trades like that, where you just have like nice momentum, you wait for that sideways action, wait for the 9 EMA to curl up under it, like then you're gonna have yourself some good clean days. It's when we start getting into like the other parts of trading where everything is just flying around back and forth and we're just trading whatever we can get our hands on. That's when we really get kind of like, that's when we get really stuck with stuff. Ryan, you know what? This is, I would say this is kind of a rubber band short, but I would let it push even higher. Like, because like it's extended, but I wouldn't say it's like parabolic, but it's definitely on watch. CDE looks good. FSLI, good. Me and you got the same list. MDDB. Ryan, oh, by the way, congrats on the wedding. Your wife is way too hot for you. Scott, what's going on? Roku. Okay, Kelly, you got Roku, JNUG, Soxix. Yeah, Soxix looks decent too, Kel. Good. Mac, what's going on in Toronto, baby? Pass. Yeah, these are all like these kind of passes of silver stock. I would definitely keep silver. One thing to do, Mac, like you don't need probably like 5 silver stocks and gold stocks, right? So just make sure like you just focus on a few. This Go looks nice, but brother, like this one is going to be really thin in volume. So just when you have like a thinner stock like this, like definitely you want to go in with just a little bit less size. Liquidity is everything. Roku is a daily trader for us, so these are all decent too. TIFF, ADSK are I think my faves, and then we're gonna go with the JNUG on the long side, and then the rest of this stuff we just let it loose and do what we gotta do. Keys looks awesome too. ATVI looks. First of all, this is not a good swing trading market. I personally would not touch any swings at all. Like it's just not. I don't swing trade if the market's under the 50 SMA in general. I just don't like the RR because you get a lot of gap downs. When the QQQs is above the 50, I find like swing trading is easier because you get gap ups. Anything under the 50, you get gap downs nonstop. So you have to be like a really good. You got to be like an expert swing trader to do that. So, guys, I'll be in the Bulls on Wall Street chat room. Guys, how did you guys like the webinar on Monday? I know we went for like a couple hours, but it was a little bit fun. And, of course, if you're liking this YouTube video, please give me a thumbs up so we can keep doing what we do. But, yeah, give me some feedback on Monday's webinar. Hopefully that was fun for you guys.